You know,
Hell.
and you can circle yes or no. But if you said no, then
Oh my
I'd
God.
have just been here homeless. So
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Blackbird 91. We are talking to you guys about Ready to Love, dealing with Clifton and dealing also with Joy. And we're talking about the reason why their connection didn't get the same stigma as Kamil and Cornelius. I want to really break down some real ideas here because I think there's a real reason why Clifton and Joy didn't get the same heat as Kamil and Cornelius, and why they couldn't go to the end of the show. Of course, there was gamesmanship and stuff that was happening on the last season. But let's break down actually some psychology aspects I believe is happening in here. Oh, I want to let you know, by the way, because I know some people are going to watch this. I never called myself a therapist. I've never called myself a counselor or anything like that. I'm not qualified to be any of those things. I'm just somebody who likes to give their opinion and their thoughts, and you know who you are. So, anyway, listen, like, share, subscribe. Click on the bell button for notification of the uploads. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked and stay loaded. Let's talk about Ready to Love and let's break down some. Little Black, you know what time it is. 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 All right, let's talk about it. So, Ready to Love this season, Clifton and Joy managed to get themselves all the way to the end. Okay, my first thing is I want to discount something. I don't think it's this. Now, I noticed that Joy and Clifton are lighter shade than Kamil and Cornelius. I don't think it has anything to do with that at all. So I want to eradicate that straight away, just in case anybody has that an idea. For me, that's not an idea. So I'm putting that right out there. I don't think that's what happened. Yeah, first and foremost. But here's the thing. Where I see clear differences between Clifton and Joy is in the types of relationships and how they're formed, right? With Kamil and Cornelius, okay, first and foremost, Cornelius and Kamil, from what we saw, it looks like Kamil is the stronger person in the pursuit of Cornelius, right? This makes a big difference when the woman is seemingly stronger in the pursuit of the man. This leads for other women to look at that interaction as being weak, and even other men to look at it as being weak, because we see the man as the protector of a relationship. This is why men being strong, and not physically but emotionally, and knowing what they want and choosing that person is vitally important to the psyche of the people around you. This is why we talk about masculine energy being protective of the feminine. When the woman chooses, when it seems like the woman is the one that is choosing the man, the signal sent around is this is not necessarily the strongest relationship, right? Because it is a man who's supposed to oftentimes put the protection field around their relationship. Point in blank, in case, what did Dante say on the table? Cornelius, blink 2 times if you feel like you're under duress. Has anybody said the same thing about Clifton? Did anybody say the same thing about Clifton? Did Clifton say, I wish I could have spent more time with Dakia? But we heard Cornelius say, you know what, talk about how he could have potentially spoke to Zadie a bit more, but because of the situation with Kamil, that was his own words that he said in the cutscene. I don't know, like, before they say that they put words in their mouth, but that's what was said in the cutscene, right? So in that sense, when you look at the difference between Clifton and Cornelius, you already see a difference between the two of them. Joy isn't choosing Clifton in the sense of her being a stronger connection. Clifton has chosen Joy from the beginning. Same way Kamil chose Cornelius from the beginning. Although we didn't hear Cornelius's choice, it didn't sound like it because that's not, they didn't edit it that way. They made it seem as if Kamil was the one that chose him from the very beginning, saying that's my boyfriend, right? So when people look at the connection and the strength of it, there's a big difference in how people respect it. Because remember, when you talk about, for instance, lions, I talk about lions all the time as an example. The lioness is the one that hunts, but it's the lion, the male lion, who protects the pride. He's the one that controls the environment, the territory, and what happens within it. So when a man is in a relationship, if he's not the strongest one seemingly, then what happens is people don't respect the pride. So what you see with Clifton and Joy is, because Clifton is a strong character, a lot of the ladies wanted him, but it almost seems quote unquote has almost alpha male kind of energies, what you realize is people respected the relationship between him and Joy. Now, Joy could do whatever she wanted. She can go out there, she can be with other people, but she had her eyes solely on Clifton. Right. So the way that they were able to meander through the course of things was that it didn't seemingly get messy for them because people had to respect what was coming their way. Now, I'm sure some people probably tried underneath the surface. Laverne was there trying to get Joy, and as much as he told us on his interview that Joy was his friend, I'm sorry, sir. When you're talking about sex, you don't talk about sex like that with your friend. You don't make sexual jokes like I would do that to you as a friend. I'm so sorry. No, that doesn't wash with me. Okay, so for me, I'm looking at a situation going, there's a clear difference between the two of them because of what is perceived. Okay. Now the complaint from the women was we couldn't get to know Cornelius because he already locked himself in. That's another point. That Cornelius, it seemingly was so locked in then, per se, to Kamil, or at least they felt he was under duress to Kamil. And I put that in quotation marks to say that I don't know if that's we can't say it's 100% true. Seemingly being under duress to Kamil. Whereas Clifton, no such argument's been had. Like a lot of women like Clifton. But did you ever hear the woman say Clifton was under duress? No, they respected his decision because of how strong he was with his decision. Whoa, words. So when a man is strong and he's decisive and he makes a decision, people around naturally respect it. But because Cornelius didn't give off that energy, there seemed to be an anxiousness and a nervousness about his decision. Nobody really bought into his actual idea. Hence why people were coming against their relationship. Hence why it wasn't a smooth journey to the end. And that's the psychology of how groups oftentimes work. The strongest person in that group, when they do something, people respect it. Right? When others do it, it can be challenged. Cornelius wasn't the strongest person in the group from last season. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and this is why I talk about how men, we have to be strong in the fact that being decisive and executing. If I want, listen, let me tell you something now, yeah. If I say I like a woman, yeah, all the other women can't play that game with me, bro. Can't. Once I say that I want this woman, you're gonna see I want this woman. Now, of course, I would have played it the same way Clifton played with her. I would have been open still. I would have still flirted still, but my eyes would have been with a Joy type, if you call it my type, right? Same thing. And that gets respected because of, like I said, you've laid an iron rule without even laying it down. Does Clifton have to come out and be like, no one challenge relationship? No, it's energy. Does Clifton have to come out and be like, no one could talk to my girl? No, it's energy. Energy that people put out, people read it. So important. So yeah, I think there's a big difference why Clifton and Joy managed to go through the process without much of a hindrance compared to what we saw with Cornelius and Kamil. Plus also I think also the fact that those two characters, or at least Kamil character, had issues among sorry about that, guys. She had issues among the female characters, so that also then added to the tension and the way that people are looking at certain situations about the fact. And the complaint that they had was, listen, it felt like Cornelius was under duress. He didn't want to. It almost felt like he didn't want to date other people. That's like he was under duress, whereas Clifton went out on dating other people. So hey, listen, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist, I just like to use psychology to give my point of view. And if you disagree, I appreciate that. Please comment down below. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you disagree, hey, put it there. If you agree, comment too. If you have a different point of view, comment too. You know what I'm saying? I like it because it adds to my analytics, and I appreciate y'all. So listen, stay locked and stay loaded. We'll see you again very soon.